Alrighty, Pure Fiction. This is a bit of a weird rotation. It seems like the buffs are bad, and the lineups are bad for what the buffs are. So, I'm gonna throw DOT, and we're gonna try Don Heng in DOT. Actually, no, it's a horrible idea. I'm not gonna use Cyrene. We'll just use Cass on bottom. We're just gonna brute force it. I know that it's the sub DPS that's hitting on weakness here. But, yeah, this one's strange. PF is always kind of the uninteresting rotation. And I've been just I spent all day playing ZZZ. I'm really close to, or not really close, I'm like 15 pity away from getting Yidhari's weapon. But I just gotta do the story tomorrow, I guess. The health on this feels kind of low. Or not, like, crazy low. I don't know. I haven't really thought about Pure Fiction for a while. This mode's not one that I'm very privy to trying to optimize. I get my 80k the day it comes out and then stop caring. What fun stuff has been going on with HSR? I am at 50 pity for Cyrene E1. Hopefully I win. If I win, things should be pretty comfy. I should be able to get E2 and Cypher. But that takes a win, and I have not really... I haven't been known to do that in Amphorius. Also, I just remembered Kafka's still the bondmate. Oops. I need to, like, fix that. Put it on Hysilens. That's something that I completely forget when using Don Heng with DOT. We also have the issue of Don Heng is currently on an attack rope. My one extra Lushaka ERR rope that was on him is on RMC right now, and I haven't farmed out a new one. Just because I haven't really thought to. He still works with an attack rope, it's just a lot less comfortable, I feel. This all just kills, right? It should. Yeah. It's a productive cycle 0. That's quite the productive cycle 0. Pretty productive first grit, too. It feels like the health on this rotation is really high. That was a big DOT hit, but, like, she's taking nothing otherwise. Just get the skill point there. We're just gonna full target Cocolia. No reason really not to. This is a very AoE heavy team anyways, so we're still dealing with the ads. This will get a skill point for the next Kafka turn. Was that a 6 million damage Hysilens ult? Damn. And that goes into... That just... Maybe... I don't know if Cyrene would have been worth using there. If only because, like, it was already fast enough. Meanwhile, Lygus here, I have seen his health pool is, like, massive. We're not using Cyrene here because she's not E2, and it's Pure Fiction, which means that Tribbie's always going to be better. I made a community post about it, but I have been really unimpressed with Cyrene's performance so far, which sucks. She's one of my favorite characters. I wanted more out of her, and my expectations were definitely too high. I knew the state she was in beta, and I had that little bit of hopium that she might be better. But from my testing with her, Tribbie is just always better, and I know it's technically an unfair comparison because it's E0 Tribbie, or it's E1 Tribbie versus E0 Cyrene, so it's not an even cost comparison, but Tribbie is a more generic unit who is not made for this team. Cyrene, I don't think is exactly made for Cass. I think Cass is honestly the worst team she has in terms of buffs. Her March buff is really bad. Her Cass buff is kind of lacking. Her Hyacine buff, the passive buff is okay, but the active buff is like the worst active buff in her kit. But Cyrene does have dedicated points to support Cass. She does things for Cass specifically that Tribbie doesn't do anything for Cass specifically. She's just the best generic option. So I expected some sort of, not like one-to-one being better, but I thought, or I'd think that she'd at least be circumstantially better at E0 and then always better at E2. But it seems like it is never better at E0, circumstantially at E2, and it's rough. I have gotten one, like, slightly niche use out of her, and that is the Zero Cycle for the current MOC. I found a Sustainless Artoria route on top, and a Tribbie-less Cass bottom using Cyrene. It's obviously not the best, because, I mean, it's E0 Cyrene, but I actually found a way to make it work, which is nice. I really love every unit on this team, even including Tribbie. These are my favorite Chrysosairs. My top 5 have all been on this team in some way. And for Cyrene to be a downgrade on what could be just a team of 4 of my favorite characters, or my 4 favorite characters from this arc, is really sad. But hopefully that E2 comes in clutch. Really upgrades this team. Can upgrade the DOT team as well. That'll be really exciting. There's no way I Zero Cycle this. There's only one more castle here. Which this will result in a Tribbie follow-up attack, which won't kill any ads. But this will kill ads. Yeah, no shot. No, actually, maybe. No, no shot. No. Oh, close to the Zero Cycle. Zero Cycle there would have been hype. Not that it means anything in pure fiction, but it just would have been cool to see. This Evi Boom should do it? Really? I know March doesn't contribute a lot of the damage on this team. She contributes actually a very similar amount to Hyacine according to damage charts. But still wild that Evi Boom didn't kill. Yeah, this was a simple one, although I was just brute forcing it with 2 really, really high cost teams. Going to try and recreate the Zero Cycle line so I can actually get the video out. As well, I did get the Platinum border. This also did not use Cyrene. Night 2 is one of the worst stages ever conceived in the game. I did Night 1 with DOT, but Yunli was able to do it, so I guess that's what's saved here now. And then Firefly actually had one left in her. Maybe with Constance, she'll have a bit of a resurgence, but who knows? If you like the video, all the call to action stuff, like, subscribe. I'm not sure what the next upload will be. It'll probably be Zero Cycle stuff, because MOC rotates next. So it'll probably end up being the Zero Cycle. But, yeah, thank you for watching. If you liked, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.